The great Rich Gannon joins us now on the Sedano and Cal Morning Show, guys.
All right, Rich, man. Thanks for making time for us this morning. Appreciate you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
I think, George, can I speak for you and say that we're both doing great?
Yeah, I think we are doing excellent, especially now that we have a former MVP on the line.
Right. Hey, Rich, we talk a lot of Raiders football around here, and I'm curious, at 1-3, are you, really disappointed given that it's a new coach and a new quarterback and a new running back and a whole new system, or is this maybe what you thought the growing pains would look and feel like?
I don't know how you can't be disappointed. I mean, a 1-3 start, you've got a new head coach, new coordinators, really a revamped roster, a new quarterback, a first-round draft pick, and a team that was dead last in rushing a season ago. And so much of the emphasis, guys, this off season was trying to improve the rushing attack. And the problem is that they went out and got the back, but they didn't address the offensive line. And I just think that right now, when you look at the struggles, there's no question it was better in Week 4 against the Chicago Bears. They got Genty going a little bit. Of course, he had the 64-yard run. But, they finally got the running game, looking respectable. But, you look at the first 3 games, it was a real struggle. The offensive line, you got Colton Miller, who's now going to be out at least a month, your best player. And then you've got 4 guys at the left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle that don't have a lot of experience. And they're struggling right now. And they're just not moving people off the ball. They're not getting up to the second level. They're just – and that's a problem. I looked at the stat prior to last week's game that Ashton Genty, we always talk about yards before contact. So I think last year, if you compare it to Saquon Barkley, at one point last year, I think Saquon Barkley was averaging 3.1 yards per rush before he was hit. In other words, he got, and Ashton Genty was a minus 1.5 or something, on a majority of his runs. So, that's a problem. And we're just talking about not even getting back to the line of scrimmage. So it's got to get better. But I think when you look at what's going on with Geno, I think what happens is so much of what happens at the quarterback position is impacted by what's going on around him. They can't run the ball. The offensive line has been great. He's been sacked and hit too much. And I always say if you got a good quarterback and you hit him and you knock him around, he becomes an average quarterback. And I think decision-making is worrisome when I see Geno throwing to the other team. He's already thrown 7 picks this year. He's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. So we've got a lot of work to do offensively, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the defense as well, because I think the defense at some points has underperformed as well. So 1-3, guys, not where I thought this team would be at the quarter mark.
Rich, let's dive in a little further on the Geno aspect of this. You mentioned the offensive line, and obviously everybody is in agreement with you there, but how much of that factors into some of the stuff we're seeing from Geno, and how much of it is just simply on him?
Well, I think if you're coaching the position, if you're coaching the quarterback, and I'm in that quarterback room, we start and we finish there. We're not going to say, well, the offensive line's not good, we're not running it, and so your interceptions are understandable. He's got to play better. I think he knows that. I mean, you can't go out and throw 3 picks 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, and then 3 picks this past weekend. You're just not going to win games that way. So I think it's the decision making that has me concerned. He's been fooled by some coverages. The footwork gets sped up a little bit when the protection isn't great. So I think if I'm Chip Kelly, we got to start there. We got to get the quarterback settled in. We've got to clean some things up. Maybe it's less volume so that he can go out and play fast. But we've got to be able to run the football, guys. And I think that's the key to it. I think if the running game gets going, the play action game can be very effective. I think he's a guy that's been very effective in years past when you study him off of play action. But right now, I just think it's piling up on him, right? They're getting behind in games. They're getting behind in down in distance. He's trying to make a play. He's got young guys. Here's the other thing. You got a rookie at running back. You got a rookie at wide receiver. You've got a bunch of second-year players, the Brock Bowers, who's not healthy right now. You've got a lot of young players, and you've got a young offensive line. When you look at Parham and Meredith and Jackson Powers-Johnson, DJ Glaze, they're all second, third-year players, so with not a lot of experience. So that certainly contributes to the struggles that he's had, but there's no excuse. He's got to play better.
Rich, would you give any consideration to starting Kenny Pickett at any point? Because you've looked at Geno's performance and said, it's just not good enough. Let's give somebody else a shot.
No, and here's why. Because I know what we're getting. In other words, if there was a situation where you say, hey, this guy's going to come in and provide a spark, and he's got some different qualities and characteristics that Geno doesn't have, it's not even close, guys. I mean, I'm not suggesting that Geno is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but he's a really solid player. He's really come on here the last couple of years with the opportunities he's been given in Seattle. And Kenny Pickett, I just don't think physically has some of the qualities that Geno Smith has, just in terms of his mobility, his ability to kind of push the ball down the field. I think Geno clearly is the better player. So I think it'd be really premature, and I don't see that happening at any point. I mean, Geno Smith would have to just absolutely throw up on himself to be put in that situation. I mean, I think clearly he's a much better player at this point.
Rich Gannon. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cap.
No, Rich, I just want to ask you then, are you bullish on the future of the Raiders under Pete Carroll, or are you kind of down on Pete at this stage of his career, and, people criticize his age and so on? I'm bullish on him because I'm a big Pete Carroll fan. What about you?
I am as well. And look, he's got that youthful enthusiasm about him. I've known Pete a long time. Pete was actually the secondaries coach with the Minnesota Vikings when I was here early, mid to late 80s. So I've known him a long time, got great respect for his body of work. He's changed the culture and the environment. He's doing that. It's all about competition. But, I think we have to be realistic, guys. I mean, I think I was just doing some work for my show later here today, and one of the things I talked about is sometimes fan bases have these unrealistic expectations. Like all of a sudden, like we make a quarterback change, we hire a new coach, got a new coordinator, and okay, we're going to win 14 games. It's unrealistic. Like the Chiefs are still good, the Chargers are still good, the Broncos are still good. Like this is the reality of where I think the Raiders dug themselves such a deep hole that it's going to take a while. And I'm not surprised. I think I'm a little surprised that they're 1-3. I thought maybe 2-2, but it's not even the record. It's just the way they've played through the first 4 weeks of the season, right? So that's got me surprised. But I think they'll get this thing turned around. I think the Raiders could be one of those teams we're talking about in the second half of the season that kind of gets on a little bit of a roll. Now, I don't believe they're a playoff team this year, but I believe that this is a team that is going to get better as they get more and more comfortable with the system and the philosophy of Pete's scheme.
Rich Gannon, MVP 2002, with us here on Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN. Rich, I appreciate you saying this because it's like validation for me. Literally everything you just said was stuff I have been saying to Cap and our audience for the better part of several months. You can't fast track this thing, especially in arguably the toughest division in the sport. So I guess my follow-up question to you would be is, we know the offensive line for the Raiders isn't very good, and at some point you do need to figure out the future of the quarterback position. Is that something that can be done in one offseason beyond this year? I know we've been focusing a lot on this season right now, but as we kind of look towards the build of this franchise moving forward, is that something you could potentially even tackle in one offseason?
It certainly can. I mean, I think you look at Bo Nix in Denver, right? I think you look at Jaden Daniels. I think you look at some of these quarterbacks that have come in and have had immediate success. I think part of it is, the system that they're in, the coaching. I think Cliff Kingsbury's done an amazing job with Jaden Daniels last year. I think you look at Sean Payton. It's like a marriage made in heaven, right? I think Sean's really good with the young quarterbacks. Look at the success that he had with Drew Brees. So, I just think that, I think you make a huge mistake organizationally if every year you're not looking at the quarterback position. And I think, based on what Geno does this year, in other words, if Geno gets things turned around and plays like I think he can and I think he will, maybe the Raiders are looking at that quarterback position in a little bit of a different way, like a third or fourth round, fifth round pick, a guy that they think has some upside. If Geno struggles, and you got Tom Brady in the building, and he's pretty good at evaluating the quarterback as well. The Raiders could be looking long and hard at that position. I think you make a mistake as an organization if you're not, even if you have Patrick Mahomes. Like if I had Patrick Mahomes, I had Lamar, I'm still looking. I'm not suggesting I'm going to use a first-round pick, but I'm trying. I want that room to be as competitive and as deep and as talented as we could possibly have it. If you just look around the league, guys, Joe Burrow goes out. Now, you're doing cartwheels over Jake Browning? I'm not. I mean, you look at the situation in Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy. We don't know what he's going to be yet. He goes out, Carson Wentz comes in. I think Carson Wentz is a serviceable guy. But if you look at that division with Jordan Love and Jared Goff and even Caleb Williams, the Vikings have the worst quarterback situation in that division right now. So, I mean, I think you have to be realistic, but I think you have to be constantly searching and looking for depth and talent at that position.
George, what are you giving me this look for? Like what Rich Gannon just said.
I mean, it literally validates everything I've said to you for months.
He's validated everything I said.
Oh, stop.
Rich Gannon
George, you cannot mess with Scott and I used to roam the sidelines.
No, I get it. I get it, Rich. But it's funny. It's hilarious how when I say the things that you just said, I have said this for months. He gives me all this grief that I'm a hater and that I don't believe in Pete. But you're saying it, and I'm just sitting there crossing my arms, pointing at the camera like, hey, man, sorry.
Hey, man.
Now the MVP is saying it, and you don't have much to say.
No, he's saying everything that I said.
Oh, stop.
Come on, man. Rich, we'll have you back, man. We really appreciate your time.
Awesome. And by the way, Rich, plug your show. Plug your show.
You guys are the best. I love you. We'll catch up soon.
No, wait. What is your show, by the way? You mentioned you're getting ready for a show. We want our audience to also find that show.
So, I don't come on to promote my show, guys. I just want.
No, we want to help you. Go.
I do a show on Sirius XM NFL Radio. It's called The Blitz. I'm on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 to noon Pacific time. So that's my show, and I'm with Bruce Murray, and we spin around the league. We talk NFL. That's all I do. I can't do anything else. I've been involved in this game since I was 21 years. I tell people, I've never worked a day in my life. I graduated from college. I was 21, played 17 years in the league. I've been broadcasting ever since. It's not work if you love it.
Right on, man. Hey, Rich, appreciate you. Thanks for the time, man.
Thanks.
See you, Rich. Thank you.
He was awesome.
By
the way, can I address one of the